You have 8 reps in you. Why are you giving up on the 5th rep? You know you have 8 reps in you. You just have to make that little mental switch, right? You're going on a run. You said you're gonna do what, 10 miles? You're gonna run 10 miles, right? By the 3rd mile, you're like, okay, this is kind of easy. 6th mile, okay, this is kind of tough. 8th mile, that's when you fucking lock in. That's when you really have to get outside your comfort zone, right? And put all of the energy within your body, your mind, your soul to finish up those 10 miles. But if you would have quit by the 8th mile, when you said you were gonna do 10, you're not gonna feel as good. You're not gonna feel as good. What's good, boys? What makes you confident, right? This video was inspired by one of my boys who, he's pretty viral. I'm sure you guys have seen some of his videos, but he goes up to people in New York and he asks them, what makes you confident? And it's crazy because everyone has such different answers, but it all ties down to one thing, which is keeping the promises that you make to yourself, right? And there were times in my life where I said I wanted something, right? I said I wanted to get in great shape. I said I wanted to attract the woman of my dreams. I said I wanted to just improve my life, right? And yet, when it came down to those tough moments where it was like, okay, I'm faced with a decision. I'm faced with a real test. Do I fold or do I stay true to my word? You understand? So obviously I hit the gym, right? I'm jacked and shit, right? I coach people on that. But when I started out, going to the gym was tough for me, right? I had so many vices. I was smoking, drinking, doing stupid shit, right? And all my friends were too. And so I was constantly faced with this decision. Do I hang out with my friends and smoke? Or do I go to the gym? And every single time I made that decision to go to the gym instead of smoking and doing dumb shit, that built up my confidence even more, right? You know, a lot of people say that confidence comes from consistency. I don't think that to be entirely true because when the ride is smooth, when you're not faced with too many tests, it's easy to stay consistent. If something's easy for you and you're consistent at it, it's not that impressive. It doesn't do much for your confidence, right? Let's say you have a problem with your sexual discipline, right? You're addicted to pornography, you're addicted to fapping, whatever, right? If it's easy for you to abstain, there's some people where they don't do that shit at all, right? It's easy for them, right? They don't fap, they don't watch porn. So they're consistent at it, right? They're consistent, they don't do that shit. But those people are not gonna get the same confidence as the guy who it's so fucking tough for him to drop that shit. But then you know what? He was faced with that situation where it was like, okay, do I go on the hub right now or do I go to sleep? You understand? Do I pull out the lotion? Or maybe let me go out. Let me go out, take a walk, right? Really work on my mindset. Really, maybe approach women in real life. You understand? That guy is gonna get way more confidence from the decision that he made than the guy who it's easy for him to abstain from that, right? If you're watching this and you're just getting into the gym, right? Or it's tough for you to get in the gym, you're gonna get way more confidence from hitting the gym than I am. I've been in the gym for damn near 10 years, right? It's like automatic for me now, right? Some days, yeah, some days I'm not motivated. Some days I'm not. But most of the time, I just do it automatically, right? It's inside of me now, right? I've done it for so long. So let's go into the gym for me, build my confidence. Not really, not anymore. But when you're first getting started, when it's literally like you get mental pain, right? You feel it all up through your whole body. You literally have to force yourself to go to the gym. That's where real confidence is built. That's where you get that self-belief because you are now aligning yourself with the man, the version of you that actually goes to the gym, right? You're struggling with your sexual discipline. You chose to go out, approach women instead of fapping and staying inside and being a fucking loser. You're getting more confidence because you're aligning yourself with the version of you that doesn't fap, that doesn't watch porn, right? That doesn't do that stupid shit. And there may be times in your journey where it's smooth, right? Where it seems like you don't even have to think about it. It's just easy. But then boom, out of nowhere, you get those urges, right? Out of nowhere, it's like the only thing on your mind. And we're men, right? We're men. We're biologically wired to want a woman, to want to attract women, to want to approach women, to want to reproduce, right? It's normal for that. Don't think it's not normal, right? Don't think you're a fucking alien and that it's only happening to you. But there were times in my journey where I would get these urges and it would be like I would literally watch myself from third person, right? I would watch myself from third person and watch myself relapse and watch myself go on the hub, right? And I believe that third person version of me, like the person that was watching myself from up above, that was the best version of myself. And even now, when I get those urges and I watch myself make the right decision. I watch myself say no to the vices. I watch myself say no to the urges. You understand? And that is what builds the confidence within me. You understand? When every cell in your body is telling you to go smoke. Every cell in your body is telling you to have that drink, to hit up the bar, hit up the club. But you know that the best version of you doesn't do that. And you choose to follow through with it. You choose to still smoke. You choose to still hang out with those dumbass friends. You choose to still fat. You're basically telling yourself, you're telling your subconscious mind that you're not really serious about becoming the best version of yourself, right? You're not really in alignment with him because, and your subconscious will take note of that, right? Next time, it's time for you to do something tough. It's time for you to really get out of your comfort zone. Your subconscious is gonna know like, yo, you're not really that guy. You remember that time you skipped the gym? You remember that time you chose to get the pizza, the Domino's, instead of staying in eating the ground beef, right? You remember the time that you chose to hang out with those dumbass friends and smoke instead of hitting the gym? Oh yeah, you're not really that confident. You're not really in alignment with that version of you. And so it's kind of like this cycle, right? Where you get some momentum and then you self-sabotage. You get some momentum, you self-sabotage. And it's because you wired, right? You trained your subconscious mind to not be confident in yourself. So that's where it's really built. It's built in those times where it's like, you have two decisions. You cast a vote for the best version of yourself, or you cast a vote for the guy that self-sabotages, the guy that doesn't stick true to his word, the guy that skips the gym, the guy that smokes, the guy that vapes, the guy that drinks, the guy that faps, the guy that does all the stupid shit, right? What decision are you gonna make? What vote are you gonna cast? Because your subconscious mind is watching you. It's watching you, bro. Like, just because today it was sweet, just because today was easy, doesn't mean you let your foot off the gas. Doesn't mean you get too comfortable, right? You know that song by Future, right? Don't get too comfortable. As soon as you get comfortable, that's when the urges hit, right? I'm over 3 years sober, right? I used to smoke every day. I used to drink sometimes. But I used to smoke every day, vape every day, do all this shit. And it would be a genuine mental strain when I would have to say no to smoking. I would have to say no to my boys, like telling me to come outside. Even if it's no smoking involved, I know that if I'm hanging around them, then I'm gonna fold. So I had to say no, right? I had to say no. Same thing when you're in the gym. When you're pushing, let's say you got 12 reps, right? You got 12 reps of an exercise. Those first 10 reps are probably gonna be easy. Those first 10 reps are not gonna build any confidence, not gonna build any muscle, right? Those last 2 reps where you actually have to fucking lock in, your face is all red, you're tensing your whole body, and you're getting through those last 2 reps, those are the reps that count. Those are the reps that actually build the confidence. When you got over 135 pounds strapped to your waist and you're doing weighted dips, you're doing that shit for 8 reps, it's probably easy for you to do 5 reps, 6 reps, right? But by the time you get to that 8th rep, by the time you push to failure, then you get through it, you get off that dip bar, that's where you feel the confidence. But if you would have just stopped at 5 reps, you would have got off like, damn, I really could have went further. I really didn't push myself. It's because your subconscious mind knows when you get too comfortable. Your subconscious mind knows when you take shortcuts. Your subconscious mind knows when you're not really following through with what you said you're gonna do. You have to push through failure, right? You have to. In anything, right? Anything that you're trying to achieve, you have to push through that sticking point, right? You have 8 reps in you. Why are you giving up on the 5th rep? You know you have 8 reps in you. You just have to make that little mental switch, right? You're going on a run. You said you're gonna do what? 10 miles? You're gonna run 10 miles, right? By the 3rd mile, you're like, okay, this is kind of easy. 6th mile, okay, this is kind of tough. 8th mile, that's when you fucking lock in. That's when you really have to get outside your comfort zone, right? And put all of the energy within your body, your mind, your soul to finish up those 10 miles. But if you would have quit by the 8th mile, when you said you were gonna do 10, you're not gonna feel as good. You're not gonna feel as good, right? I came out here today, I said I'm gonna shoot a YouTube video, right? I said I'm gonna shoot a few YouTube videos. If I would have came out, half-assed it, right? Made a quick 5-minute video here, 5-minute video there, not really gave all my passion into it, right? I'm gonna walk out feeling like shit. And it's only like 9 a.m. right now, right? I would feel like shit for the rest of the day because I know I came in here with a mission, I came in here with a goal, I came in here with a plan, and I didn't follow through with it. So listen, confidence is built through pushing through that sticking point and staying consistent like that. It's not built through just consistency, right? It's about staying consistent when you can't, when you literally can't, right? When you have to use all your fucking energy to stay consistent, right? Not when it's easy. Not when it's easy, right? If it's easy, it's not doing nothing for you, right? You gotta push through failure. You gotta quit your vices. You gotta stop watching porn. You gotta stop fapping. You gotta start hitting the gym, right? And in those times, when you will be tested by God, the universe, whatever you believe in, you will be tested. Best believe I've been tested thousands, maybe even millions of times, right? Probably thousands, right? There were many times where I failed the test and I would feel guilt, I would feel shame, I would feel like shit. And then I would do good for 2 weeks and self-sabotage, do good for 2 weeks, self-sabotage, right? But then when it came down to those moments where I would do good for 2 weeks, I would have that urge, right, to fuck up. I would have that urge to skip the gym. I would have that urge to smoke. I would have that urge to fuck up. And at that moment, I made the decision not to fuck up. I made that decision not to self-sabotage. I kept going. One more week. And before you know it, it's automatic. That's what builds real confidence, right? That's what builds real confidence. You know, it's still uncomfortable for me to go out here and make a video in public, right? Talk to the camera, but a couple years back, I would never be able to do this shit. I would never be able to go out in public like this, speak with as much passion as I'm speaking with right now, and talk to the camera, right? But the reason why, the fact that I did it a couple times, a few times, and I kept pushing, I stayed consistent with that uncomfortable feeling. That's what built my confidence to do this shit right here, the way that I'm doing it, right? You gotta push through that sticking point, and you can. I know it feels like it's the end of the world. I know it feels like you literally have nothing left to give, but you can, right? All you have to get through is this present moment. And I bet you tomorrow, you're gonna feel refreshed, right? It's just gonna be easy tomorrow. You just have to get through right now. Don't focus on tomorrow, right? Don't focus on the next moment. Focus on right now. You focus on right now, and you make this right decision in the present. You cast that vote towards the best version of yourself. You're gonna become him. Ain't no doubt about it, right? But yeah, quick one for you guys today. I don't know how quick it actually was, but kind of went off on a tangent. But this will hit home for the people that it's meant to. This will reach the people that it's meant to, and I'm confident of that. So I'll see you boys in the next one. Stay dangerous.